19 Tips for the Best Sex Ever. These tips will help get you in the mood, both physically and mentally. 1. Know that you're entitled to fabulous sex. So what if you haven't lost the baby weight, certain body parts aren't as high as they used to be, or you have a pimple the size of a volcano? It doesn't matter. When you're in bed and making love, your partner is not worried about any little imperfections a woman might have. 2. Make a date. Scheduling sex might sound too controlling to be much fun, but sometimes planning is in order. You book time in your calendar to work out and run errands, why not do the same to prioritize sex? This is important, so you have to make room for it and push it. Reconnecting with your partner as a lover, not roommates or parents, reminds you why you were attracted to him in the first place. And once you've made a sex appointment, the anticipation can be almost as titillating as the event. So kick it up a notch by trading racy texts or leaving a sultry voicemail on his cell. 3. Forget about normal. Surveys show that women have a wide variety of sex. 17% have tried bondage, 20% have used a blindfold, 30% have had anal sex, 62% masturbate, usually 3 to 4 times a week, 40% use vibrators, 14% look at online porn, 70% need clitoral stimulation to slide into home plate, 18% opt for oral sex. Your quirks and predilections aren't so strange, so quit worrying and enjoy. 4. Leave the porn positions to the pros. There are a lot of ridiculous standards out there about how women should be or look or act. Let all that go. Reality is, men are turned on by you. Your partner will be aroused by seeing you turned on too. 5. Lube up. The right lubricant can make so-so sex great. There are several types of lube to try, including water and silicone-based, so experiment to see what works best for you. As a general rule, avoid anything that warms, cools or tastes like a fruit roll-up. These can irritate the skin. 6. Get squeaky clean. Use mouthwash and baby wipes. Keeping everything fresh is just good manners, right? 7. Go fish. Fish oil reduces inflammation, blood pressure and dangerous LDL cholesterol. But guess what? It also helps open up those very small blood vessels down there. Plus, fish oil boosts the testosterone in your body. Yes, women have this hormone, too, so you notice your arousal more quickly. You can get a hefty dose of fish oil by eating salmon, mackerel, lake trout, sardines or herring twice a week, but it may be easier to take supplements. 8. Trade pain for pleasure. Sex should feel amazing. If it's painful, you need to figure out why. It may be a simple matter of changing positions or adding lubricant. But it could also be a yeast infection, an undiagnosed STD, endometriosis, painful bladder syndrome, vulvodynia, or even cancer. Don't try to diagnose it on your own, see your gynecologist. If you're still hurting and nothing is medically wrong, consider talking with a certified sex therapist. There can be emotional reasons for painful sex, particularly for women who've been raised in religious households or who've been sexually abused or raped. 10. Get to know yourself. Forget what you see in movies, only about 30% of women reach orgasm through penetration alone. That means a whopping 70% of us need hands-on help to cross the finish line. It's not all up to your partner. Share the responsibility and take on pieces of your own sexual pleasure. Touch yourself to bump up the heat, so you can have more and better orgasms. 11. Give him direction. He may not want you telling him how to drive, but he'll appreciate direction about what pleases you. Just don't be bossy about it, unless he's into that, of course. A simple "it drives me wild when you fill in the blank" can work wonders. If he's still not getting it, take him by the hand and lead him down the path of your pleasure. Show him specifically where and how, lightly/firmly, slowly/quickly, you like to be touched. The reward? A bone-shivering orgasm. 12. Cultivate a rich fantasy life. You've heard it before, the most important sex organ is the brain. So stock it with sexy images to get your motor revved. There's plenty of tasteful stuff out there, so you don't have to expose yourself to something that's going to offend you. Catch a couple of late-night movies on cable, or peruse erotica at bookstores. 13. Create a sexy space. You want your bedroom to feel like a place for good loving, not an office or nursery school. Remodeling isn't required. Simply clear out the kid toys, put away the work stuff and add small touches like candles or flowers. 14. Get some comic relief. Another thing that happens only in movies, sex without gaffes. In real life, something's bound to go wrong. One of you farts, you pull a muscle, the dog jumps on you, you fall off the bed. The only thing you can do after checking for broken bones is to laugh and roll with it. Nothing kills the mood like the pressure to have perfect sex. 15. Find birth control that works for you. It's impossible to let yourself go if you're worried about getting pregnant. Which is why the best birth control is the one you'll use without fail. Fortunately, if you do slip up, there's Plan B, an emergency contraception pill that you can use up to 5 days after sex. 16. Get a handle on vascular conditions. Some health problems affect your sex life. For example, heart disease, arthritis, hypertension and diabetes can profoundly affect our sexual health and pleasure. What's the connection? Blood flow. Sexual arousal is completely dependent on the blood flow to the tiny blood vessels in our genitals, including the clitoris, which gets erect the same way a man's penis does. So anything that impedes the rush of blood to your nether regions can substantially curb your enthusiasm. See your doctor for help. 17. Catch some Z's. About 67% of women have trouble sleeping, according to the National Sleep Foundation. And, as many working women know, when you're really tired, you'd simply rather snooze than get busy with your partner. 18. Get fit down there. You've probably heard it before, but there are good reasons why you should do your Kegels. Orgasms are your pelvic floor spasming.